You were originally charged with first-degree murder.
Yes, ma'am.
And so to avoid that charge, you pled guilty for the 30-year sentence,
Yeah, and that broke it. Yes, ma'am.
right? So having said all that, why should we grant you early release earlier than 30 years that you agreed to?
Because they were, I did 20 years, ma'am. I learned my what I did. I didn't shoot nobody.
So what have you done for the past 20 years?
Well, then I went to school a little bit, trying to learn a little something, better myself.
What kind of little stuff did you learn?
Well, then I kind of reading a little bit better.
What other programs? I don't have any certificates in my record. I don't have anything that you've completed in the record in 20
When
years.
when I was in Winfield, I was taking over classes. And when I came here, I actually later she didn't let me have none.
So you haven't done anything?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
What have you completed?
I haven't completed no classes up here. We're in the Winfield.
So you were at Winfield for
Since 2007.
yes, 2007 to 2019. So 12 years at Winfield. What classes did you complete?
Gives the management.
Where's your
That's
certificate? You
I
got a
don't
certificate?
have them with this certificate.
Well,
I must have lost it when I was going back and forth when they be shaking down and stuff, when they be taking your box and shower shoe when they taking the whole dome down, shaking their whole dome down.
right. So you think when they shook down your property, they may have taken your certificate?
Yeah, they'll be throwing your papers and stuff away in your clothes.
Right. I understand. Well, I want you to know that there is strong opposition to an early release for you, for you to get out of jail early. Let me, the sentencing judge, well, the judge, the first JDC, first judicial district, they are opposed. The DA's office is opposed because you were an active, even though you weren't the shooter, you were an active participant in the crime. The Shreveport police chief is opposed. So you have a lot of opposition. You have not been able to complete programs to help you rehabilitate yourself. I'm just having a hard time with your case. Let me ask the officer, is she still in the room with you?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Is there anything, he's been there for a few years. Is there any programs available to him in Claiborne?
Yes, ma'am, he can get his GED here. They have Ashland University. I'll get with the director here and see if she can get him in some programs, but he is a trustee here. He works, he helps out on the hall. He's actually my sewing man, and he goes out and work every day on the tractor crew.
You've got lots of jobs.
Yes, ma'am, he has several that he does here.
Oh, good. So, Mr. Washington,
Ma'am.
I'm pleased to know that you've got several jobs. You're a trustee, and she says you're doing well. The fact that you go drive a tractor tells me they trust you. But I think you got to have some programs. And as she said, they have some programs that you could involve yourself in. Have you asked?
Okay, excuse me. I would try to get in some, but my reading level kind of messed up. I went to school for 12 years, right? But I was in special ed.
I understand. They can help you with that.
All right.
That doesn't mean that you just don't try. I mean,
I know. I try a lot. You know what I'm talking about? I just don't give up for nothing.
You don't have any questions? Okay, Mr. Washington, I'm sorry to say that I can't vote for you today. I'm not convinced that you won't go out and reoffend again, and not having the programs under your belt that I think you need. I can't vote for you today, so I'm going to vote for you. She said she can help you get involved, enrolled in a program. You need to do that. My vote today is to deny you parole.
Okay, now listen, ma'am. You hear me again?
Gotta vote.
the
Mr.
education that's required.
Madam Chairman, my vote is the same for the same reasons.
And Mrs. Wise?
Mr. Washington, you got opportunities now. It's kind of, you know, you're not comfortable with the education part. You just rather not. You rather be doing stuff with your hands. I get that, but trust the wisdom of this board and start taking some programs and reapply as soon as you're eligible for a rehearing and be able to show your certificates. Ask your wife to be here. They have a transition plan. Go ahead and get all of that planned out. But if you're successful, where you gonna live, how you gonna support yourself? Come back with all that in place. But today, my vote is to deny as well. Best wishes to you.
All right, so today, sir, your parole's been denied. That concludes our business in Claiborne. We're gonna sign off. Actually, we're gonna adjourn. It's 12:28. Thank you.
Thank you.
That background
As
of the, oh, I mean, that looks like out of a torture medieval castle that you would see in or some museums. I mean, that's just that is some scary stuff. That is some bad optics. I mean, look at that. I never seen anything like that before, man. Okay. Well, that's if that doesn't bring home the reality of spending time in this, you know, it's like it's not like one of the bigger prisons, I guess. And yeah, I wonder how it works where you get placed. But it was interesting. You didn't expect him to have all of those responsibilities, but it seems that he's kind of excelling from that perspective. He's not just sitting and not doing anything, which we happen to see a lot of inmates do. His story, though, about, I'm pretty sure he said that they went into his co-defendant's shot and he fainted and then woke up and left. And maybe it's true, but I have a hard time believing that. I don't really see how that can play out. And that is defendant is on death row is quite fascinating, interesting to me. It's interesting because this crime, he's been locked up for 30 years on a 50-year sentence 30 years ago. So that's not like that long ago. I didn't know they were handing out death sentences for taking a life of one person. We've seen so many cases where that's, could be he went to trial, they offered him life, and he went to trial and they gave him the ultimate punishment. Now, here's the point is that what we're expecting to happen in the next month is hearings of almost, I think, all but one, maybe, but a lot of death sentence cases are making it to the commutation board. It's like the last thing the governor's pushing through before he leaves office. And that's part of his personal agenda. He doesn't want anyone on death row. So they are having commutation hearings for many, 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 if not all but one. The last I checked, it was all but one applied for it. There was one that just said, no, just kill me. No. Sorry, YouTube, for saying that. I don't mean that. I'm joking. It's not what I meant. It's out of context, the algorithm. So we're going to see a lot of these death row inmate commutation hearings coming up, and we might see his co-defendant. I pinged Richard on this. The problem that we don't have a lot of information on this case is that James Washington is a very popular name, and there are so many cases for James Washington. So Richard did drop in some that matched up, but it's not the case. And he probably doesn't have under his name because he took a plea deal, but his co-defendant undoubtedly does. So anyways, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see his commutation hearing in the next month. But we've seen a lot today, and I come back to to that monster who got a little 4-year sentence. And it's hard to believe that actually happened, but it did. Anyways, thank you for being here all night. And with that, I'll let you go.